Okay, modelers, so today we've got another new Hobby Boss kit, and this one here is the Israeli Defence Force APC, the Doghouse one. And I've been really dying to get my hands on this. There's a couple of different versions, but I particularly like this one. And I've been dying to get my hands on it since it came out, and it's only a fairly new release. So my friend with the local shop here that I talked about in some of my other videos ordered this in for me. I'll just quickly throw his card up again, guys. You know, I always like to throw him into my videos so you all know who we're talking about here. He's going to focus for you, so you can get his details off that card there, guys. Does some really good deals for us modelers. He'll look after you. He's a nice bloke to deal with, so if you're after something like this and you're in Australia, give him a call, see what he can do for you. He's got PayPal, he'll do mail order, all that sort of thing. Like I say, really good bloke to deal with. And so I got this off him. I got it last week, and I was going to put this video up a bit sooner, but I was tied up with the local club here. We're doing a show on the weekend, so I've only just got around to doing this video. So anyway, guys, as you see, nice big box here. I have had it open. I couldn't wait. I had to open it up and have a look inside, but I haven't unpacked it all. So I opened it up, I had a look, sniffed the new plastic like you do as a modeler, and yeah, put the lid back on it just to do this unboxing for you guys so we can go through it together. As you see, beautiful box art. I love the box art on this. Most of the modern stuff has got really nice box art. There's a couple of exceptions I've seen around that I'm not that keen on the box art, but this one is really nice. On the side here, a bit of information about the doghouse itself. There's a cartoon, like a picture drawing there of a full one on the side. On this side here, it's just got a couple of different profiles of the beast. And as you can see, she's an ugly machine. It is really ugly. And as you guys know that watch my videos, if it's ugly, I love it. There's something about ugly machinery that just really does it for me. And this thing is truly ugly, and that's why I love it. So we take the box off, and as you can see, she's fairly full. It's not stacked to the brim like some Dragon kits I've seen, but she is fairly well stuffed with goodies in here. The first one we'll go to is, here's our colour call out. Now, something I did notice when I opened this up earlier, I'll just show you. I'll grab them out of here, right down the bottom somewhere. We've got our star there in the decals, but it's not shown on here. It's not shown on the box art. It's not shown in the instructions. It's sort of like the swastika. I don't know why they insist on doing this sort of thing. I don't know if it's, you know, it's going to change the world or change people's views in any way by not having these symbols on there. History is what it is, and you know what I mean. That's just my opinion, but honestly, I think it's a bit silly with that sort of thing. They give you the decals to put it on there, so you can put it on display the model, but they don't have it in any of the pictures. It's like, yeah, we don't support that. So yeah, I mean, that's their opinion, I guess. If they want to go that way and they think they've got a big enough audience that gets offended by that sort of thing and will put them off their models, that's their decision, I guess. But it was just something I noticed in this kit was a bit unusual. But anyway, here's our call out here. This is for our decals, and as you see, and you plus your colour call outs as well there. It's got your Mr. Hobby, Volatile, Model Master, Tamiya, Humbrol, and there's 6 different colours there that are used in this, and you've only got that one call out there for her. And then we've got our instructions, and again, this is just the front cover here with the picture, a little bit of information about putting the thing together. Then we go into our sprue call out here, and the first thing we start on is our road wheels, which you generally expect, our suspension, all that sort of thing. And then we're going on to some of the plates here with some of the details going on to those. Then we got the tub with all the wheel work and stuff starting to go on there, and all your wheels going on, all the bits and pieces around the tub. It's a general build up for armour. We sort of pretty well know the process, those who have built it. Then we've got our top part here of the armour with our rails going around the back there, some details going on, exhaust, and then we've got our return rollers going on there as well. Then our tracks going together up here, and some jerry cans going in. So obviously the jerry cans are something you might want to leave till later on, guys. Your lights, and then we've got some more detail going on to the side guards here. And it looks like it's fairly complex as far as a build up here to put these on, so it's not like there's just one moulded piece and you stick it on there. You've got to put it all together then stick it on, so there's a bit of work in it. There's a bit of photo etching here to go on as well. Then we go to the other guard over this side, light housings. I noticed this is photo etch. You have the option to do the photo etch bending for the guards over the light housings, things like that. And again, that's all going on to the guards. Side rails going on to the guards, mounting brackets, all that sort of thing, toolboxes. Then we're starting to go to the top part of our, well, I suppose you call it a turret of sorts. Oh no, it's a little front house there that goes together. A few hatches going on. We've got springs so you can have those open. Looks like we've got detail on the inside of those hatches so you can pop them open, but you don't want to probably have any light down there because there's no interior, guys, so they can see down in there. You're still going to see a bare base. So, but if you want to have them popped open, all the interior for the doors is there. Machine guns going together. So what do you got? 4 machine guns on this beast, sticking out different directions. The top part of the piece going together up here with all the little armour pieces going on it, and then it goes down like an insert over the top. So it'd be interesting to see what the fit's like in that part there. That'd be interesting to see how that part goes in, whether it's going to line up really nice. If it was to me, a kid, I know I wouldn't have any problems, but don't know with Hobby Boss. And then we've got these wire mesh pieces that go over the windows. Now this may be something you want to paint after, because if you put that on there, trying to get paint down in around these areas and unmask the windows is going to be a nightmare. So it may be something we paint separate and then put them on after. And then we've got it all sort of falling into place here. We've got our antennas going on the back there as well. Then we've got our side skirts going on over here. The side skirts were put together in a previous page there, guys, but they go down off the side. And there she is, all completed from 2 side views, front and rear. So a really nice little set of instructions. Like I say, it's not a beginner's kit. It's got a fair bit of work in it. Got a bit of Hobby Boss advertising here for French Navy ship. A little bit of stuff here on Doghouse. This is obviously some of their newer releases and a bit of information on them, so it's sort of like a bit of an advertising thing there for us. Okay, there's the main top of our turret, and as you see, some nice detail. The bolt heads are on there. There's a couple where they've cut off the attachment points there. It'll have to be cleaned up obviously, but they're not too bad. There's the other part here. We have got some nice detail on this one too, guys. Hopefully you can pick that up in there. Some really nice detail. Just barely raised. Some really nice and fine. Really nice. So some of those are obviously guides where you glue stuff on there so that you've got something to sort of show you where to stick that. Here's our tub, and it is what you expect it to be. Like, there's not a lot of detail on the tubs. All the detail comes with putting the running gear and that on them. But the detail that's on this one is nice with the big bolt heads and stuff in there. Under the front here, there's a really nice weld seam going on underneath here to put this plate on the underneath. There's a beautiful little weld seam in there which you're not going to see a lot of. Same with the weld seam around here, very nice. But it's things like that, those lovely little details that you love to see as a modeller, and but you won't see it on the actual build when it's done. Here's our the rubber parts of our running wheels. They're not actually rubber, they're actually black plastic, which is a bit different. So obviously these are going to click onto the actual wheels themselves. So what this will do though, guys, it'll allow you to paint the thing without these on, hopefully, and then you can click these on after. So you paint these separate, and then you don't have to worry about using pens or fine brushes to try and get that black delineation between the two, the rim and the rubber. So that's quite a clever little idea they've got there. Clear pieces, that's all the little viewing hatches and things like that, and they're quite nice for what I can see. The square windows, nice and clear, very nice. And this is the photo, which is what I love about some of these modern kits, guys. We just get so much value for money these days. So we've got one there that looks like that might be the folds for the light housings there. Oh no, maybe this is in. Oh, we'll find out, I guess, when we go to build the thing. But they're attaching nice, fine little attachment points, and in places where they should be easy to clean off when we cut them off there. This one here's got 2 in it. So these are the mesh parts that go around the outside that I was saying we'll probably do these afterwards. They'll be painted separate and stuck on afterwards. This is our antenna in here. Obviously it all gets folded up. But I'd say these are sort of like the light housings here, I would think. But like I say, we'll find out when we go into it. There's some nice little detail in this. But it's one of those great things about these modern kits, guys. We're getting all these lovely little goodies. So starting to get into our bags here now, guys. I'll grab my knife so I can open these up and we can go through them. you'll get a bit better look if they're out of the bag. Okay, so here's our first sprue, sprue F, and looking at the detail on here is really, really nice, guys. I'll get it up to the camera, and hopefully you can pick that up. Some beautiful detail on there. You can see that really, really fine stuff up around here. All lovely stuff down in here. You can see all this beautiful detail they put in here. You just love seeing that sort of stuff. It just really makes everything pop when you've got all that nice little detail, fine detail, and when you paint it up, all that stuff pops out at you. I can see that there's no flashing. The attachment points all seem to be in nice flat areas where we can clean them away when we cut them off the sprue. Any injection pin marks, obviously all on the inside where you're just not going to see them. Some smart engineering, which we really appreciate as modelers. Next bag of goodies in here. It's another thing I love about being a modeler in this era too. You open up a box and it's just all these sprues full of lovely stuff. You know, back when I was a kid and building models, you had a couple of sprues in there and that was it. You know, I mean, for its day, that's what it was. They didn't have a choice. But these days, with the engineering and the advances in plastic moulding, it's just exceptional to be able to open a kit like this and see all the beautiful stuff in here. Again, I can see a little bit of flashing in around the holes in here. It's not too bad. Just a quick hit with a bit of sandpaper, that'll come straight off there. It's very, very fine. Again, attachment points are fairly good. These ones here on the wheels, you can see they're actually attached in 2 points, which is a little bit unusual. You know, on 2 teeth instead of just the tip of one, which may work out better because it's on the slope of the tooth. It's not on the tip. The ones that are on the tip can be a real pain because you've got to trim them away so you don't damage the tooth, but then you've got to shape the top of the tooth yourself. So that's probably a good idea, but we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we won't damage the teeth getting those off there, but that may be a clever idea they've got there. Just all this fine stuff here, guys. It's so tiny and fine, and you've got all the wiring wrapped around there, and all the details on it. There's one of their spare tracks up there. That's really nicely done as well. Just looking at there's some really fine stuff going on. I'm not sure if the camera will pick this up for you guys. Hopefully this will focus up close enough. But if you can see in these, there's some really fine lines running across that bar in the middle there. Really, really fine stuff. It's just beautiful to see that they're actually putting that sort of stuff in there. They're very nice. They're both the same then, sprues, so I won't bore you with the second one of the same. Open this one up. Everything's well packaged, and as you can see, like these finer parts, they put this foam around to protect it, which is really, really great. So I want to be a little bit careful taking this off. That's just want to see what's in. Oh yeah, it's just that's your basket that goes around the back. So obviously these would be easy to damage because they're fairly flimsy and fine. So I'll leave that on there. So I don't want to damage it before I build it. So maybe a while before I build this one. So give the noise of the plane going over, guys. We're near the airport, so that tends to happen. Just looking at all these are the guards, the front of the guards there, really nice. Again, no flashing that I can see. I can see on this little guy here, there's a couple little feathers of flash hanging off there, but they'll come off no worries at all. Base for antenna there. And we've got these are things you have to sort of be aware of too. These little knobs that are left on there for the injection process have to be taken off. Injector pin marks are all where you're not going to see them. And there's no attachment points that are going to be problems there. Everything's on flat surfaces, so it should be easy to clean up. Very nice. And another bag. Okay, so here's some nice big flat parts. Now these are the parts that don't normally have a lot of detail moulded on them because you're going to be sticking it all on later. So these are our guards, obviously over the top of all our running gear. And they've just got like, places where you line up the stuff that's going to go on there. All the injector pin marks are underneath. You won't see them up underneath there. But the checker plate here is really nicely moulded. It looks like there might be a little bit of a mismatch in the pattern in the middle of that one there. It's not too bad, it's only one little spot, but that is really nicely moulded. It's not overdone. Sometimes you see a checker plate, it's just too big or too overdone, too pronounced. That's nice and fine what they got on there. All the hinge brackets are nice, the handles are really nice and fine. Everything up around the top of here is nice as well. I mean, this is not overly complex and it's not really fine because that's what the machine actually is, like that. So that's all quite nice. Again, no flashing on these big square parts. A lot of times if you're going to find flashing, you'll find it on parts like this hanging off the sides. And so there's a little bit of feather flashing going on the tip of there, but again, just a quick rub sandpaper, that'll come clean off there. You have got these little hinges hanging off the side of here. You have to be careful with those because I mean, they're not too bad, they're not too flimsy, but it is something you'll be able to knock off and break if you mishandle this. But that's quite nice, guys, no problems in that. Quick one here. I'm only using my number 11 blade on this because it's an old one, guys. I don't use new ones on these. I try and save them. So here's all their little handles. They're nice and fine. I know a lot of people replace these with staples or bits of bent wire and stuff like that, but they're fine enough. They'll do the job. It's just a matter of trimming them off there without damaging the handle because it's so fine, and where it's attached is actually heavier plastic than the part itself. So trim them off carefully, sand them nice and carefully without breaking them, and they'll be fine. They'll be really nice to use. You can actually see on these big pieces here there's some texture going on. Looks like it might be a non-slip surface type of texture, and it's really fine. So in the scale, it's sort of stuck to the scale, so that's really nice. The only thing, maybe when you paint it, that might almost disappear, that, but we'll see how we go. If we don't sort of overdo it with the painting, that should come up really nice, that surface. Again, all attached in nice places, nice flat surfaces where you can get to it and clean it up. Details all nicely moulded in there. Very, very nice. As far as fit issues, guys, I haven't actually read anything on this kit yet. It's going together. But Hobby Boss generally can be a little bit of hit and miss, but they're generally not too bad. And there's another aircraft taken off, guys. Machine guns. Now these are where some manufacturers tend to, I don't know, they just sort of drop the ball a bit, but these are really nice. I can see all the fine detail in those. Again, I'll hold this up to get the camera to focus a bit for you guys. Come on, camera, focus up. You have to forgive this camera work, guys. It's I'm going to have to get a decent camera for you. But you can see the beautiful detail that's on those machine guns. Very, very nice. These little parts down here, again, really fine stuff. We've got a bit of texture going on here. Looks like a bit of cloth cover or something over those ammo baskets. Some nice little rivet detail going on. Really nice stuff, guys. So again, no flashing. Ejector pin marks hidden away. Where the machine guns are attached to the sprues, not too bad. You've got one on the just the start of the barrel here, which you're going to have to be a bit careful with. You'll have to cut that off, trim it away without damaging the barrel, but that's not too bad. There's no holes in the ends of the barrel, so you have to drill those out. You can either use the tip of a really sharp knife, or I've got a little drill set over there, micro drill set, that I can drill those out with and make them look a little bit more like the real weapons. Got a stretcher on the back here, which is a really nice little thing that they've thrown on there, and that one's exactly the same, that sprue, so that's really nice. Okay, so we've got a bit of running gear going on here. Okay, again, really nice detail on these two, guys. I'll just bring these up again, and you can see the nice detail that they put in there. All those inserted bolts and bolt heads and things, very, very nice. They've got all that in there. But again, you know, you don't see a lot of that. It gets covered up by the running gear, but it's really nice that it's there. If you want to have a damaged vehicle with the wheels pulled off, they're repairing it, that's really helpful to have that sort of stuff. And then when you weather it too, that stuff all pops out at you, so it's really nice to have it in there. It's one of those things, like you're not going to see a lot of it because, yeah, it will be buried with the tracks and the road wheels and stuff like that. But as modelers, if it wasn't, that detail wasn't there, it'd be something we'd whinge about. Oh, there's not enough detail in the kit, it's terrible, you know. So the fact that they're including this stuff, we're very spoiled these days to have that sort of detail thrown into areas where you're not going to see it. But very nice. Now, last few bags here I'm not going to open, guys, because it's just the running wheels. And they're quite nice for what they are. I mean, there's not much involved in those, just the main big bolts that go around and the inserts in the middle, and they're nice. And we've got a caps there with their bolts on there as well. That's all nicely moulded, and they're just attached in the way road wheels always are attached. It shouldn't be a problem. You just have to clean those up. Armour modelers, it's just what we expect. And then we've got our tracks, our individual track links. Now this is a part that I always sort of get worried about when I come to this part in armour kits, because I've had hit and miss lately. Well, a couple of Tackham kits and a Ming kit, the big dozer, the tracks were just atrocious. But these ones here are kind of similar to the Magi tracks with Dragon. They should just push together, and you know, you can sort of spot glue them so they're still movable for a while, then pose them on the tracks, let them set. Sometimes people will do these at the last step so that you've got the running gear on there, paint all that, do these separate and put them on after. But most of mine I put them on there and I use a really fine brush to get in around, pick the details. But they look quite fine, guys. It'll be interesting to see how they go together. But anyway, that's pretty much it for that kit. That's everything that's in the bag or in the box. Some really nice goodies in there. Again, guys, I know I say this about all my kits, but it's one I'm really looking forward to doing, because this, like I say, is something different. It's an ugly beast. Really looking forward to doing this one for you guys. Now, as always, guys, down below there's links down there for you to check out. I've got my Facebook down there, Patreon. I'll have links to where you can buy this kit. Yeah, so check all my links down there. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, guys. Leave me some comments if you don't, and if you do like it, leave some comments. I love reading comments, good or bad, from you guys. It's one of the great things I love about this little community we've got going here. That's pretty much it, I think, guys. If you haven't subbed to the channel, hit that sub button down there for me. And just let you know too quickly at the end of this video, I'll put this at the end of most videos now, I'm actually starting a VidMe channel up as well. That's a different platform. It's like a YouTube competitor type thing. I'm starting that up as well, because I noticed there's people that are starting to abandon YouTube for political reasons, which doesn't really involve me too much, but they are abandoning. They're going to VidMe and different platforms. So I've got people over there that I want to sort of show off my work to as well. So I've actually started VidMe. If you want to go and check that channel out, I'll put that link in this video down here for you too, so you can check out the VidMe channel. But it's the same as what I got here, but just on a different platform. So anyway, guys, like always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.